Welcome back, y'all. This is my part two of my top 50 songs of 2024, and I'm super excited to talk about all these tracks. These are definitely the standouts of the year for me. Starting off with number 20, You and My Dreams by Ultra Q. Yeah, this is probably my favorite punk song of the year. They really came through with a hard-hitting track, and I love the message behind it too, and it's really relatable. So my number 19, I got Foam by Royal Otis. First things first, I got to shout out to Royal Otis because they're really having a breakout year. Salute to them. I'm so happy for them. And this song is really, really huge, and they deserve it. They deserve it. It's a very fun and engaging track. I can't really play it one time. I gotta play it over and over and over again, and it's so catchy, it's melodic. My number 18, I got Celestial Kiss by Ferdous. Every year, Ferdous is just always on one of these lists that I make. I could have had several songs of his, but I chose to pick this one, just because this one from the Dreamland EP that he dropped was my favorite one. The other ones were kind of like singles that I had already heard, but this one was a brand new track, and it's just so vibey. It's kind of like electronic music. It's bouncy. I love the production on this one. It's just captivating. It gives you like a little eargasm, really. So number 17, I got Walking in the Rain by my guy Toro. And this song is just so hard. One of his hardest songs that he's ever made, to be honest. Probably the hardest song on the album. I mean, the album has so many bangers, but you can't just stop singing the hook. It gets stuck in your head over and over and over again. And I really like how it's a good entry point on the album. It kind of gets you prepared on what the rest of the album is going to sound like. But this is definitely the hardest song on there. The beat is just crazy. And I watched this one live and it was just so mesmerizing, so captivating listening to this shit live. It's just banger after banger after banger, and this is the key banger of the album, in my opinion. So yeah, and it's just a fun song all around. So my number 16, I don't know how to say this name. I don't know if it's Porij or Porridge, but it's Stranger by Porridge. This song is one of the most beautiful hooks I've heard this year. And I love the EDM inspired instrumental. It's kind of like a slow burn, to be honest. It's like slow pace in the beginning, and then in the middle portion, it starts getting more active and engaged. And then the last section is just crazy. All these things are going on. The lyrics are so special in this one, and they can pretty much relate to almost anyone. So, and that's why it's my number 16. My number 15, we got Body of the Lightning by Francis Chang. Amazing song. What a gorgeous song. It's like one of my favorite singer-songwriter songs of the year. I'm obsessed with this performance, and it's, like I said, one of the best of the year, hands down. It has very, very little lyrics, maybe like it's kind of like a little poem, really, but you never get bored of it. It's like 4.5 minutes long or something like that. It literally just keeps your attention at ease. It keeps your attention at a 100 the whole track duration, and it's just so impactful and breathtaking. I really do adore this one. So number 14, we got Little Homies by Vince Staples. What a song that just makes you want to dance, crip walk, all that shit. They make you just want to go crazy and just have fun and it just lighten up your mood. I haven't heard Vince Staples had a song like this in a long time. I mean, he has other tracks on this album that are kind of like this, but this one in particular is, I don't know. I heard this one and I was like, this is definitely the standout. I love Vince Staples. I think he's one of the most consistent rappers that we have right now. I can make the argument he's like just consistent as like your favorite rapper, to be honest. He's just so great. He's been dropping quality music since like 2013, 2012, really gonna be honest. Almost 13 years, and he's just been dropping fire after fire after fire. And I really commend that dude for that. He's been one of my favorite rappers of all time since I was in high school. So yeah, and he keeps coming through and his sound is maturing. This man just doesn't know how to make a dud. He's just so consistent and I love him for that. Number 13 is a dude that is the definition of consistent. Probably one of the greatest rappers of our generation. Probably one of the most underrated rappers in our generation, and that is Chainswang by Bones. I said this about several artists in the last video, and I'm going to continue it saying it on this one. But every year, few of these artists have one song that's just in my constant rotation for that year. And this year it was Chainswang, and this was one of his best songs of the year, honestly. probably one of his best songs ever. That's saying a lot for a motherfucker that drops like 3, 4 albums a year. I can talk about Bones for hours and hours and hours, but I gotta push through this video. So my number 12, I got In the City, Out of Town by Yeek. And Yeek is another person that I just deem is super consistent. He's a Florida native, so I completely support him for that. It's definitely a song that if you travel a lot, you should definitely have it in a rotation, definitely have it in a playlist because it fits the vibe. So every single time he makes a song, an EP, an album, I'm locked the fuck in because he's just that great to me. At number 11, I got Thank God for Me by ScHoolBoy Q. ScHoolBoy has just been on a absolute run this year, and Blue Lips is one of my favorite albums of the year, spoiler alert. But I think this is one of the best rap songs of the year, Thank God for Me. There's so much that I want to say on it. For some of these songs, even in the last video, I regret not doing videos and reviews for those albums. And this is one of them. I regret not doing a Blue Lips review, to be honest. Q's rapid flows on this, the beat switches, they make this shit completely unforgettable. So we're finally going through the top 10, and they're gonna be in my rotation for years and years and years to come. I am obsessed with all these songs. I'll never get bored of them. So up next, we got number 10, Pitiful by Remi Wolf. We're starting out with such a heater. This is probably the catchiest song I've heard this year. I'm not gonna lie, probably the catchiest tune, the most fun song that'll just uplift your mood. If you're having a bad day, you just put this song on. I know I said in the last video that pop really took over, or has really even taken over 2024. And this is a huge example of that shit because Remi Wolf is having a amazing fucking year. My number 9, I got True Story by Ariana Grande. I didn't expect to love this album as much as I did, but as soon as I heard this song, I fucking adored this track. It has everything that I fucking want in an R&B type song. This is the anthem for me on her most recent album. You hear this song and it sounds completely different from all the other ones. And she was like in a certain bag in this one. I fuck with it heavy. I go deeper in my review on this one, so I'm not gonna go too in depth, but just know that I fucking adore this song, and that's why it's my number 9. She is fucking amazing, and she's having a hell of a year with Wicked, her album being amazing. Like, salute to her. She's fucking great. So my number 8, we got Echo by the Marias. What a gorgeous song. It got stuck in my head for days the first time I heard it. And I know I keep saying that, but what can I say? This is like one of the most catchiest songs I've heard this year. The lush production on this one with that gazing melody makes this track completely unforgettable. It's definitely the standout of the record for me. And this is another track, another album that I want to go in depth in when I do my top 50 list. So just bear with me. But this song is absolutely incredible. And the Marias is one of my favorite bands right now. Definitely one of my favorite bands right now. And they're just so consistent. Every single time they put out anything, whether if it's a single, a remix, anything, an EP, I'm locked the fuck in because they're just that amazing to me. My number 7, we got Meet the Grams by Kendrick Lamar. Probably my favorite rap song of the year. For a few of these songs, I'm gonna drop the link down below for the reviews I did for them. But I love this song, man. Like it's just I'm a huge fan of horror movies. Horror is my favorite genre. And when I heard this track for the first time, I was like, he is dissecting this dude. And the beat just sounds so evil. It sounds so dark. Honestly, this is probably one of the most underrated diss songs from that whole battle or whatever. Like nobody really talks about this one, but I fucking love this one. I told my friends that this is probably my most played rap song of the year, and they call me a psychomaniac. And I was like, dude, it's just fucking incredible, man. Like I don't know, like what he did to surgically like dissect this dude. Generally speaking, like if you're a fan of rap, I mean, obviously people can have opinions to say, oh, I like this more than that one for sure. But if you are a fan of rap, there's no way you're gonna say Meet the Grams is a garbage song. There's just no way you're gonna say that shit, bro. Unless you're a Drake fan and you're still coping. It's been like what? It's been 8 months, bro. Get over yourself. But yeah, dude, it's crazy, man. So that's enough about that song. My number 6, I got Everything is Romantic by Charli XCX. I could have went any way. I could have chose like five, six, seven songs on this album, but if you haven't heard this tune, if you haven't heard this album in particular, you're probably living under a fucking bridge, if we're gonna be completely honest. There's so many songs, like I said, I could have picked off this one because it's just an immaculate album, but this one, of course, what's crazy is my favorite song when I first heard this album was Apple, and then it became Back to Back, and then it became Talk Talk, and then it became Everything is Romantic. You know what I'm saying? You know an album is good when you keep switching your favorite song over and over and over again. And Everything is Romantic has been my favorite song for like the past 5 months. Like it's finally like stopped. I haven't changed my favorite song on there. Everything is Romantic is definitely the song for the album for me. And Charli, shout out to her, man. She's having an amazing fucking year, and she deserves it. She is incredible. She's a creative mind. She's different than all these other pop stars. She's really out here and trying to like, push the envelope, trying to influence people. She's really doing her own thing, and she's literally striking while the iron is hot. So there's not much people can say to her and just doubt her. And I can really go in depth. I'm gonna go more in depth when I talk about Brat in my next video. So now it's down to the top five. And I love all of these songs. I might go in depth and talk about the rest of these tracks, but yeah, my top five is all heaters. And we're starting off with Fantasy by Luna Lee. Luna Lee is probably one of my favorite artists right now, one of my favorite artists for this whole decade so far. And she's just so consistent. I fucking love that woman. That woman is immensely talented, multi-instrumentalist, single songwriter, a huge fan of hers. I've been a huge fan of hers, like I said, since like 2020. That's when I really, really got involved in her stuff. And just to see the progression, just to see the growth is just crazy, man. She's really underrated. There's so much I want to say, but I'm gonna save it for when I do the top 50 list. So my number four, Tested by Erika and Casier. Yeah, I did a review on this one. I don't really gotta go in depth, but if you know me, you know why. The song is in my top five. She's just amazing. Another one of my favorite artists of this decade. She's been my most played artist for the past 2 years, 2 to 3 years, to be honest. And there's not much else I can really say about her. She's really just sharpening her sword and one of the most underrated R&B artists. One of the most underrated artists in general, and she has a bright ass future ahead of her. And I love that woman. Number three, we got In the Fire by Fabiana Palladino. This is another song that I had a review on. I kind of went in depth when I talked about it, but the production on this one, the lyrics on this one are so special. I think this song has the best writing on any of the tracks of the album, in my opinion. The flute is incredible. Everything about this track is just insane, bro. And just the fact that another artist that's really kind of changing the landscape of pop music and stuff, at least for me, she's kind of bringing something new to the table. It's not your casual bubblegum pop techno shit. You know what I'm saying? She's just adding something new to the table and just flipping a switch on it. And she's immensely underrated, like immensely underrated. There's not much more that I can say about Fabiana Palladino, but she's a diamond in the rough. My number two, Image by Magdalena Bay. Wow, man. Like, I'm speechless. It's just everything I look for in a pop song. It's so melodic, it's rhythmic. I don't care who you are, bruh. If you listen to the song, even if you don't even like, if you don't even like music in general, there's no way you're gonna hear the song and not be like, there's no way you're not gonna bob your head, bro, because this song is just so fucking good. It's fun. Everything that anyone looks for in a pop song is literally represented in this track. And I definitely think that there's so many standouts on that record. The fact that this was a single is just outstanding. This shit came out like months before the album even released, and the video too came out months before the album even released. But there's so many quality tracks on this album, and this is still my favorite one. I'm just so passionate about this album. I'm so passionate about this song. They're one of the most inspiring and just, incredible and influential duos that we have right now in the pop field. and they just take their music to new heights and on a new level. Like none of their sounds, none of their songs, none of their anything sound the fucking same. None of their remixes, none of their shit sound the same. With each album, they keep improving the writing, the production, everything is just so layered and luscious. And me as a producer myself, I'm just like getting inspired by listening to stuff like this. Mag Bay got a huge future ahead of them, bro. Yeah, and I just love it so much. I'll never get over this song. One of my favorite songs of the decade. Fuck the year. One of my favorite songs of the decade, hands down. Number one, my favorite song of the year is Genie by Crumb. Wow, what a way to kind of showcase the a rightful name in a song like Genie, because this song is absolute magic. The moment I heard this song, I said this is gonna be my favorite song of the year, and it's gonna be extremely hard to top this song. Image almost did it. It almost did it, but the fact that this song came out back in May, this album came out back in May, this song came out in May, and 5 months into the year, and I said, this is even my favorite song of the year. This is definitely my favorite song of the year, and it's gonna be hard to top this. 7 months later, and it's still my favorite song of the year. It's just everything I look for in a song. Everything I look for in a song from head to toe, and from front to back. And in this one, there's like three, four switch ups, and the switch ups are absolutely incredible. This track is just inexplainable to even describe because it's just a roller coaster of a track that takes you in so many places that you never even expect. You know what I'm saying? And it's just so innovative. It's creative. It's bold. It's wildly structured. I think that's what I love about it. Like it's very off-kiltered, but I still love like the direction that they went on this song. It's layered so beautifully, and that's really the real reason why it's my favorite of the year. There's really not much else I can say about it. It's just incredible, man. And I heard this track and I said, this is definitely gonna be my favorite song of the year. But that is my 2024 song list. I'm extremely happy and proud for the year that 2024 was in music. Yeah, that's all I really have to say. My next video will be my albums list, and I'll go more in depth on that one. That one might be a little bit longer. I might not do it in parts. I might do it all in one go. And my final list of the year is going to be my movie list, and it'll just be a top 10, maybe not be a top 20. I would just do a simple top 10, and that one's going to be really, really hard to make. But I'm excited. We got to focus on the music first, and my albums is coming through probably in the next week or so. So be on the lookout for that. I'm out, y'all. Peace.